Good evening and welcome back to Sugo for the sprint race here at TNGTC. Obviously a very action-packed first race in the feature. If you didn't watch it, definitely go and watch that first cracking finish between the top two. Obviously this is the sprint in which the top 5 from the feature will not be qualifying and will start in the reverse of their order. And joining me again for this is Liam. Liam, what do you expect in the sprint race?
I'm going to go out there and say I predict Benji to win this relatively comfortably. Actually, no, Robert G's racing in this, isn't he?
He will be qualifying,
He dropped
yeah.
down right at the end. So yeah, Robert and Benji will be the two shouts for this, and then, of course, you're going to have Seeks and Ben, the first two, try and make their way through the pack.
Yeah, not the easiest job actually, is it, to have to be the first two getting through the pack. Normally you carve a bit of a path for the guys behind you.
No, but the man of the moment, Nathan, he in Season 6 almost won the sprint race from the back, I believe.
Only time will tell. I mean, he did look very good at the end of that feature race, did Nathan, having a good old pop at Adam.
Yeah, it seems like we're hearing from Frank that he was hit at the opening phases of the feature race by Deathstroke, so maybe not as strong a debut as we thought.
No, see a few mistakes, definitely. But whether that caused any damage, that's the key thing. If that caused damage, that could be taken to stewards.
Yeah, seems maybe Seeks was unhappy with Robert's move. Adam and Nathan don't seem to be annoyed with each other, seeming how they're speaking post-race, but we could have one or two inquiries, and of course, this being a sprint race, it's hopefully, for our sakes, gonna be chaos.
Well, around here it should definitely be, with overtaking opportunities limited. I think we're going to see a few lucky dive bombs.
Yeah, I think the Season 6 sprint race was actually absolute chaos.
So Benji comes across the line, 119.2, so it's a bit of a sighter, I think. Robert GP. He's going to have a nice bit of slipstream here from Doko. Bit annoying they're in the same livery, but there we go. Across the line at a 19.2. Now, as you think, it's fair to say, was that Rob M with a 19.1. So Rob M in the Mercedes, we've almost discounted him, but he's come in with quite a fast lap there.
Yeah, we just sort of forgot about him since he finished about 35-40 seconds off the lead, but of course he was in the mix with all of Eslot in the feature race qualifying.
What can Deathstroke do on his first lap? He goes ahead of Frank. I tell you what, that's not a bad time from Deathstroke at 20.0. Makes Frank have to have a bit of work to be done.
Yeah, maybe it was just a really bad lap from Frank, or Deathstroke stepped it up, but you think Frank's got more, because him, Deathstroke and Doko were all relatively close, and of course this midfield lot were all half a second or so off of the top lot, so you'd think there's enough for Frank to get involved with Doko and Deathstroke.
There is Frank Finch in his Audi for Wooden Spoon Racing. And that's Frank Finch going wide for Wooden Spoon Racing. Very good to manage to save that for the car behind him. And Robert GP has now put it into provisional pole. And we have got a comment, but I can't see it.
I will have a look. see who is saying what.
I don't think if I connect up my phone, I'll be able to see the comment either. Got a comment on the stream.
Ben has commented twice.
I've
He
just
first
seen.
said, I hate Sugo, I hate Seeks. Then he put Robert G plus 1 up for the win, so we know who he's supporting.
Yes, most definitely, yeah.
And that he hates the track and he hates Jonathan, the hometown hero.
I think he'd better get some security for the way out.
Yeah, he might be a hunted man after this.
As Rob M comes across the line, possibly to start a lap. Benji is in third, he's 0.136 off of Robert GP. Both the Robs up in the top two positions. It could be a Rob front row lockout.
One of them really needs to change their name, it's so confusing for us.
Mate, you think that's confusing when you look at other events? Yeah, and they've got their community tags on. That's when it goes nuts.
Yeah, my one time doing the Clios, I can confirm that is very annoying.
As we watch Doko currently signing fourth, so not a bad starting position on the second row of the grid. I'll leave my phone running just in case we get any more comments. Because obviously the top 5 from last race, who some of them might be watching the stream, might comment because they've got nothing else better to do whilst they're sat in the pits. There's Robert GP, Rob M across the line, and I believe that is pole position so far for Rob M. Provisional pole for the Mercedes driver by just over a tenth of a second. Good lap then from him. Frank Finch in the Audi. Through 110R, through the final corner we come. Can Frank move up the order on this lap? He's 1.7 off of Deathstroke. He does improve on his time, but he's still 2.4 off the current pole position. So Deathstroke, I think, has definitely stepped his game up a little bit here.
Deathstroke's out on a surprising amount of fuel, 17 litres.
Unless he set his lap and now he's doing almost like a half race run.
Yeah, it's very possible. We do sometimes see that. It's rare, but it does happen.
Here comes Robert GP. He's got to make up just over a tenth here to get back onto provisional pole. It's quite weird from Robert, really, because it doesn't look all that quick, but it's very, very tidy.
Yeah, it'll be one of those laps that looks slow, but it's just so neat and precise that it's actually quick, and it could be enough to get him on pole. He's got enough fuel to go for another lap if he wants it, but I'm sure the front left tyre won't like it.
Benji's now gone into second place with a 19.055. That demotes Robert GP now into third place. Frank's had enough of qualifying. Doko comes across the line. He'll be, if he goes again, he'll be the last man, I think, to complete his lap. Deathstroke's up into fourth. He's actually passed Doko.
Yeah, and that's the end of his qualifying. Now it'll just be a case of, for him, because as hard as the overtaking is, presumably the front lot are going to get to him, so it's a case of how well can he hold them off, or will he, you know, crash into them, as he's a fairly unproven at this moment.
That is looking quick through SP in, SP out. That looks quite smooth and clean. Looks like he's pushing it a bit more as Robert on this one. Back to full throttle through the final corner. He'll be the last man across the line because Doko's gone in the pits. Can Robert steal the pole position? No, he can't.
Very anticlimactic ends to what looked like a good lap.
Well, Rob M gets his pole position for the sprint race from Benji. Robert GP. Deathstroke is in 4th. You could say his best qualifying to date. Doko is in 5th. Frank is in 6th. Then obviously you have the reverse top 5. So Seeks, Ben, Gaz, Nathan, and then Adam all didn't set a lap because they're not allowed to. And there is confirmation of the qualifying results. That it can't be good for Frank, that 2.4 off the pace. That won't do him any confidence boosters into the race.
No, I'm sure that's probably a bit of a letdown, but he's also probably kind of boosted by the fact that he knows he did better than that in the feature qualifying, and if he had matched it, he would have been around Doko and Deathstroke, so he knows he can match them, so he'll try and take that into the race, maybe make a position or two up off the start and just...
I think Frank is definitely a better race driver than he is qualifying. He's proven that before. He's qualified last and come home quite happily, way ahead of where he qualified, so...
Yeah, of course, they had that great... Was it a 5th place in the Kota sprint?
Yes, definitely,
And,
definitely.
Yeah, if he can keep his elbows out and just keep some of the guys behind him, he could make up places. Because I remember back in season 6, the sprint here, I think I was running 3rd or 4th, and I was eventually leading just because everyone kept making mistakes, so you can easily gain places by just keeping it clean and not getting involved in any messes.
Must admit, looking at that picture, it's very interesting the way that the grid's set up. Look at Rob there, his car's nowhere near the yellow line, but you look at Benji's. Right on it.
Maybe we found a conspiracy as to why Adam was leading the race. The Sugo conspiracy. I think Adam should be disqualified for that.
Oh dear. So we're waiting for the drivers, because they like to make everyone wait whilst they're in their 2-minute countdown screen. They like to make our jobs difficult by making us talk about pointless stuff to fill in 2 minutes worth of your time. See Rob M on pole. If he can, it's going to be interesting because I think Robert behind him, he's definitely a threat for this win.
Yeah, the crowd aren't going to see much of it, 'cause in the bottom right they're looking the completely wrong way, but yeah, any of his top 3 could win, and maybe even someone from the back.
So we're green here at Sugo for the sprint race, and Benji's got a good start. He's now at the inside of Rob M into turn 1. And that's going to be Robert GT maybe having a look down the inside. He does, but couldn't quite get there. Frank Finch stays where he is in 6th. The hometown hero still in 7th. Oh, and that is an interesting line from Ben Milden, and a tag on his teammate. That could help Nathan massively here as he looks to get past Frank. As he Seeks and Frank have swapped positions as he come into the high points and into Rainbow Curve. And that is Seeks all over the back of Doko already. Robert GP has now got past Rob M. And Deathstroke is under pressure from Doko, but also putting a bit of pressure on Rob M. It's number 9 Mobile. Into SB in, SB out. Bit wide from Seeks, but he's managed to regain it. And he's got a good run here on Doko, coming into 110R. And I think he's been squeezed onto the grass. He's not going to be happy about that. And the hometown crowd are definitely not happy about that one. Frank Finch is a cork in a bottle right now.
I think Gaz taking to the grass to get past Frank.
And here comes Adam Moore. Adam looking on the extra bit of tar. Ben Milne goes a bit wide. He's going to let Adam through potentially. Not quite. Oh, and who's that off in the background? Is that Frank?
Frank. I suppose the good thing for Seeks is he's already in the back of this lot, so he can maybe try and follow them through the pack.
Deathstroke still applying pressure to Rob M, but he's got the championship leader right on his tail. And when you know that, you know you're under pressure. And here comes Nathan. Looks into the inside. Good room left from Deathstroke there. He's come up into SBN. Oh, Nathan tried it and he got squeezed. Not normally a place to overtake on the outside, but again, a good run potentially into 110R. Up through into the final corner.
I'll tell you what, being one of the new guys when you come to pass someone.
Oh, and that is Doko off. And oh, that's an interesting re-entry. I'll give it that. Seeks has got past Adam Morris already. Putting that hometown advantage to good use. Nathan now past Deathstroke as they go on to lap number 3.
Now, what I was going to say was, when you're one of the front runners and you're coming to pass someone you've never raced before in their first event, it's one of the most nerve-wracking things ever because you do not know how they're going to drive.
It must be even worse being championship leader as well. I mean, the fact that you're leading the championship, no, you don't want to lose any more points. That's even worse.
Yeah. You've got everything to lose. The person at the back of the field who's fighting for small points has nothing to lose.
Where's Rob M? Rob M. So, as we're here on lap number 3, the laps have just flown by in this chaos, but Seeks is now having a look at Ben. He's looking really quick in this sprint race. Is the hometown boy.
And Ben at the same time is having to look at Gaz.
And Gaz is having to look at the pair of them. But that should be Ben's corner, but we've seen many a time the defence around the outside of these two corners. That's going to put Seeks. Oh, Seeks really getting squeezed, and that was not the intended outcome, I don't think.
No, we couldn't really see fully what happened with the camera angle we had, but it's like Seeks tried to be an opportunist and follow Ben through and then tried to pass Ben.
I think Seeks went to the inside of Ben, got on the inside, potentially squeezed onto the, as Frank purposefully lets through Seeks there without a trace of doubt.
Yeah, the advantage for Seeks will be it looks like Ben hit the wall, but Seeks didn't.
Stick at the front now, 2 tenths now the gap. These two have been quietly getting away, and when does Robert GP strike? Where does he take his opportunity?
Well, he's got a good attempt now, he's got a good run. Also, he was a full 6 tenths quicker than Benji last time, that's astounding.
Especially when you consider Benji is not a slowpoke in this championship. Oh, and a bit of a tap. Good defence from Benji. I think Robert is...
Nathan has gone up into 3rd.
I think Robert here is just looking like a bit impatient. He's just trying to get past him far too quickly. He's not quite getting the right sort of timing at the moment. He's coming to Rainbow Curve for the 5th time off 13. bit wide from Adam Morris. It'd be interesting to see what the verdict is on Seeks and Ben there, coming through the second corner. It almost looked as if Seeks went to the inside, got very much squeezed, potentially understeered coming off of it. Either that, or maybe Ben didn't expect him to still be there, maybe slightly came across and caught him. I mean, it's hard to tell from the angle we had.
Yeah, I guess it would have gone either one or two ways. Ben squeezed Seeks, and that's when they were locked together and hit the wall, or Seeks has drifted a bit too far out wide and collected Ben, but either way, they'll either talk it out or put it in the stewards.
So as Kaz now looks to overtake the 13-year-old. Into turn one they come. A lot of ring given. That's very good driving, that is, from both.
Yeah, of course, they're supposed to be teammates. I don't know if they realise it, but seemed fair.
It very much seemed like a teammate pass move, I must admit. And a lot of ring given. But it now looks like that Gaz is slightly slower than his younger teammate. Through sector 1.
Yeah, looks like Adam's got a run on him now.
He's going to have the outside, which is not ideal. Oh, that! Oh. Yes, and Adam's definitely going to have to wait for that one. Deathstroke into the wall. Very big hit. How much damage is he sustained from that? Because that was not a light tap. It looks like Adams almost penalised himself about 5 seconds as well.
Yeah, he's had to lose a lot of time, but up front, Nathan, second quicker, and on the previous lap he was 2 seconds quicker.
Yes, Robert GP has to get past Benji now. I mean, he's got similar pace to Nathan in clean air. He has to get past Benji, but Benji's putting an absolute masterclass of defence on at the moment. Down the backstretch they come then at the halfway point. Through the backstretch corner and up to horse back. Round the final corner they come, and Nathan's got a run now on Robert GP up the main straight. Yeah, that's a done deal before the corner. Oh, and Robert has retaliated immediately. That's a fantastic bit of driving from Robert.
That was a bit complacent from Nathan. He should have assumed the move was done, but as soon as you show the inside, they're very much entitled to just throw themselves back down it.
They've got to be careful though, because if they're not too careful, they're going to let the lead slip away.
Yeah, that move could have been race losing for Nathan, as Adam at the back's already passed Deathstroke.
I must admit, I think that damage must have a bit of play in that one, because it's fair to say there won't be much of his car left.
Yeah, Deathstroke hit the wall.
Nathan down the inside. Robert hangs around the outside to keep the inside for SP in. Can he keep it there? Up towards SP out. They're still side by side. A little tap on the rear quarter. Down to 110R. Still side by side. This is fantastic driving for second place. Oh, and a little bit of squeezing, but Robert GP gets it in the end. Out of the final corner. He keeps his second place so far.
So Nathan's not going to be happy. He's going to feel that little push instigated the whole move, but he could try it again at turn 1.
This time, not complacent, instantly on that inside curb. And here comes Robert again into turn 2. He's alongside. Through the third corner.
I think Robert in this battle has been a bit too aggressive, but it seems like Nathan has it done now.
Well, the thing is, Robert is completely entitled to get on the inside, and he was halfway along, I reckon. But it's not a normal overtaking move that into turn 2, so definitely would have surprised Nathan.
And now they've got 2.9 seconds. Benji has all this probably done it for Nathan.
Remember, Nathan started in 10th place. He's up to 2nd. There's a hell of a drive from the championship leader.
If it moved over and just stayed to the inside when he originally passed Robert, it would have only been 8 tenths behind when he got past him, but seems like he might have thrown the win away with that one.
Let's see how it goes. He's going to have just 4 laps. And 4 laps is all it can take. There is the man at his home circuit. Seeks now on the back of Gaz. Gaz slightly running wide, and Seeks, all like Robert, looking down the inside of turn 2. But Seeks has been ripping time out of Gaz by the seems of it. A 19.7 from the homeboy.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's 1.1 seconds on Gaz.
And that is not easy.
Of course, the thing you have to consider with sprint races is 80% of the field could have damage, and we're not going to have seen all of it, so there's always the chance Gaz has some damage.
But still, even with Gaz with damage, you'd have to think he's not 1.1 slower than Seeks.
Interesting to see what Nathan does relative to Benji out front.
Well, I think he's pulled in about more than half a second on this lap. It's only 1.6. Yeah, there you go, 7 tenths. That is plenty. He's got plenty enough laps here to close that down if he keeps pulling at 7 tenths a lap and have a lap to really attack. As we continue to watch Seeks on the back of Gaz, he'll be looking for another top 5 finish for Seeks. That'd be a good way, I would feel, before he goes off to abroad.
Ecuador.
Is it Ecuador? I thought it was Ethiopia.
Ecuador for 2 months.
I thought it was Ethiopia, but there we go. But wherever he's going, he's looking like he's going to go out with a bit of a bang here. If he can get 2 top 5 finishes, he'll be very happy with that, I feel.
Yeah, it'll be one of his best ever events, and to have to go away for 2 months after it, he'll be a bit annoyed.
You can see what's going to happen though. If this is his best weekend, Sugo for season 9.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of other people certainly hope not. Nathan might hope for it, but
You'd have to think though, why would you want to not pick your best race of the calendar?
yeah, that's generally what the drivers did. They either picked the best track or one that they think would give good racing.
And to be fair, Sugo has done both. He's given us some really good racing, and Seeks has done really well on it.
Yeah, he's certainly up there for a driver of the day shout. If he can get past Gaz, that would just solidify it.
So Nathan really closing in now here on the penultimate lap here at Sugo. On Benji in the lead. Pulled another 5 tenths on him on the last lap. This is where he's going to get a bit more harder, where he's starting to come up behind the Audi. He's going to have a gap of half a second on the final lap. The first corner into the second. 0.28 of a second into the hairpin, and oh, I know, is that a bit of lag I saw?
Yeah, a bit of lag from Benji is nothing new, and if that actually happened on Nathan's screen, that would have been quite off-putting.
And surely a little bit scary if he wants to make a move on him.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Down the backstretch they come for the final time. Can Benji hold off the advances of Nathan? He's got 0.4 of a gap now. Into the horseback. This is going to be gutting if Nathan doesn't get this. This will be the second time he's come within so close of winning the race. Can he get a run out of the final corner? It looks like he will get a slight run, but not enough maybe. He looks to the inside. He's got a drag race up to the line. Has he got it? Nathan's in front. Nathan has won here at Sugo for this sprint race, followed by Benji. What a finale at the end there. Robert GP finishes in third, Rob M in fifth, Gaz finishes fifth. The hometown boy comes home in sixth for his final race for a few months. Frank comes home a brilliant seventh in my opinion. Doko comes home in eighth. Then it's going to be Deathstroke in ninth. Adam Morris in 10th. Yeah, I think Adam got past Deathstroke, trying to get up to Doko as the normal Carnage ensues. Ben, this will be a race to forget for the Mercedes man. So the final results of the sprint race here at Sugo. Nathan wins by just 67 hundredths. Not bad going there. Benji is second. Robert GP is in third. Rob M is fourth. Gaz in fifth. Seeks is in sixth. The hometown fans will be absolutely cheering for him because that was a fantastic night of racing for him. Frank Finch comes home in seventh. Doko in eighth. Deathstroke comes home in ninth as a double points finish for the debutant. Adam Morris comes home in 10th. That is going to not do his championship favours any good with Ben Milden outside of the points. So, Liam, your driver of that race?
Nathan. It's not even a question.
No, definitely. I think both in agreement here on that one. Your driver of the night?
Nathan.
I'm going to go...
It was just easy.
For me, I'm going to go Seeks, because it is a fantastic effort what he done. I mean, the fact that he had a great first race in fifth place there, and to come back from a little crash and finish nearly in the top five, for me, that's a good drive for the night.
Yeah, as Ben doesn't seem happy with Seeks.
But that is it from us tonight. Next week is week break, I believe, Liam.
Yeah, 1 week break and then we go back to the mess round at Spa.
So join us in 2 weeks' time for Spa-Francorchamps. But from everyone here at TNGTC and from me and Liam, thank you all for watching tonight. We will see you in a couple of weeks at Spa. Have a good night.